Hello there, it's Christmas time. I do hope that you're enjoying this festive season. For me, it's such an honor hosting this Christmas edition of the Chamwada Report. Alex tells me that today he's taking a back seat. How was 2016 for you, by the way?
Well, for me, 2016 has been awesome. It's a year when I won 3 key awards. There is the Environment Journalist of the Year TV category by the Media Council of Kenya, a story we did on environment, River Nyando, and the consequences of flooding and how to prepare for flooding. Then I was crowned the Social Media Personality of the Year, apart from being the Media Personality of the Year. So that really took the show to another profile.
Well, congratulations for that, and I wish you the very best in the year 2017.
Thank you. So I know you are now hosting our last show of the year. You are literally doing a working Christmas, and we'll be looking forward to another fruitful year. Probably let me just remind our viewers, what was our first show this year? The first show was about garbage in the city. The city under the sun was choking under garbage. I don't know if much has changed, but around this time, that's what we are talking about. So at the end of the year, 2015, then we began 2016 with talk about garbage. But we leave it to the viewers. So can I leave you to continue hosting?
Thank you so much.
So that I can enjoy Christmas with the rest of the team at Chams Media.
Exactly.
Tunajua wewe utatujoin after the show.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
I wish you the very best. Now, talking of Chams Media, for the first time, we are going to let you see what the team goes through to get the job done. I'm talking about behind the scenes in the making of the Chamwada Report. And of course, still to come in this show, a recap, the 2016 that was. So we are going to air some of the most powerful stories that we aired in the year 2016 and how they transformed lives. Remember, here at Chams Media, it's never about us, it's all about you.
I like the Chamwada Report.
The Chamwada Report?
Yeah.
So you watch it?
Always on Sundays.
Let me ask you, what time does it come?
8:30 p.m.
Why do you like it?
It's informative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so humbled to hear that you watch the show.
Kukuona. Sasa nimekuona personally na nimefurahi.
Umefurahi kuniona pale. Ni story gani wewe ufurahia zangu?
Ai nyingi.
Kama
nyingi. Lakini mimi upendo kituripotia. Sasa hiyo na report kutoka nje una report vizuri sana.
Za ng'ambo.
Unasikika vizuri sana.
Niko clear.
Kusita wengine.
Asante.
Indeed, 2016 was a great year for Chams Media. Alex Chamwada was traversing the country from the villages to the cities and even beyond borders, talking of countries like Liberia, Israel, and even Philadelphia in the US. Now, one of the most powerful stories that we aired was trending with the hashtag #SweetPotatoK. And talk of dining with kings and eating with commoners alike. Who could have thought that a sweet potatoes, regarded as poor man's food, could find its way in the high-end hotels in London?
Welcome to the program. This time we are in sweet potato farms in Kericho County that is ordinarily known for tea growing. Now, to some, this is a poor man's food, but you'll be surprised to find that the tubers are becoming a delicacy that is transforming lives not only in villages, but also across the borders.
We've tried to make different dishes out of a sweet potato.
In this show, find out why the UK is a favorite export destination.
Grade 1 fedges 25 shillings per kilo. Grade 2 fedges 20 shillings per kilo.
And why the royal family in the UK eats the sweet potato, yet some people in Kenya ignore it as a poor man's food.
Queen Elizabeth has tasted sweet potatoes from this farm.
We will also hear from a London-based Kenyan entrepreneur who is passionate about training Kenyan sweet potato farmers for the export market, not only here in Kericho County, but also other counties like Bomet and Homa Bay.
I see very soon, a whole new industry and sector of just sweet potatoes competing with teas and coffees and flowers.
Plus, a sample of sweet potato products like bread, crisps, and even porridge.
Farmers are trained on handling, harvesting, storage, and even the grading. So the process now is ongoing, and we expect even to get the audits by May. so that we get our sweet potato certified for the UK market and the EU markets.
Wait a minute. Is it trees that bring rain or rain that makes the trees grow? Well, this might have struck you, forgotten water towers in Mount Elgon and Cherangani.
Welcome to the show. This is River Nzoia in Mumias. It is roaring. It has gathered its water from two key water catchment areas in Kenya. That is Cherangani Hills and Mount Elgon Forest. Forgotten water towers in the country. Yet the importance of that ecosystem spans across the borders. You'll find that this water drains into Lake Victoria, eventually River Nile, and along River Nile there are irrigation activities all the way to Egypt. In this show, we will be looking at the importance of that ecosystem.
It is related to poverty eradication simply because when people do not benefit from the ecosystem services, they can also not improve their livelihoods.
Also in this show, the challenges and threats to the ecosystem.
The pollution industries around this particular area, deforestation, which is a very serious thing.
The conservation measures in place, the role of the national and county governments, donors, and the communities living in the ecosystem.
The European Union is providing 3.6 billion Kenya shillings.
Sisi watu wa mazingira wametufundisha kwamba tupande miti kando kando ya mtoni.
In the year 2017, many Kenyans will be waiting to see the SGR in operation. But don't forget that in the year 2016, we brought you the making of SGR, from making of sleepers and T-beams to laying of the track. Here is that story.
Over there is the old track, and this is the new track. Now, what has changed? In the 19th century, when the old track was being laid, the process was labor intensive. But now, things have changed. The current process is highly mechanized. And what is the difference? What do we mean by standard gauge railways compared to the old track? Now, the width of the new track is 1.435 meters, while the old track, the width is 1 meter, and that's why it is called a meter gauge. The other difference is this. This is called a sleeper. Now, the sleeper of the new track is made of concrete, while the sleeper of the old track is metallic. The weight of one sleeper here is about 350 kilograms, while the metallic sleeper on the old track is about 60 kilograms.
Well, that has been the making of SGR, but now behind every successful story, there is a dedicated team that even burns the midnight oil to get the job done. Now, in our case, here at Chams Media, before you see Alex Chamwada on air, we have a dedicated team as well. And we don't want to give you a lot of hard news this time. We know it's Christmas, and they will be sharing their experiences, maybe the best moments, the worst moments, and all that. But for now, they have something for you. Chris, kazi kwako.
Okay, guys, we're going to do this as we used to.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I've been able to meet at least 3 presidents in the period that I've worked with Alex Chamwada and in the production of the Chamwada Report. My worst experience is one time when we were in Paris during the COP21. We were walking around the exhibitions. Then President Buhari of Nigeria appeared. Everybody scrambled to go and interview him. I was not having the microphone, so I went to pick the microphone and fix it. Unfortunately, I had not fixed it well. So the radio mic fell. And we missed the sound. That is one very bad experience as a cameraman.
My encounter working with Chamwada and the Chamwada Report was tremendous, because it exposed me to various kinds of terrains, filming in different places, getting to know how to capture nature using a drone.
There's so much that goes behind the production that the viewers don't get to see. I've been able to show Kenyans what the rest of the world is doing, you know. My favorite show being the one we did on urbanization and how it helps in economic growth. We were able to show what other countries, especially in Africa, are doing. Ghana is doing very well in roads, you know, and we think Kenya is the epitome of development in Africa. No. One particular shot that I will always remember is that aerial shot of the Kwame Nkrumah interchange that shows you very beautiful infrastructure.
Fisherman. There is a fisherman behind the cameraman.
Let's finish this thing.
Who are you?
Nikifanya hivi na block wind. Me manze, this thing is difficult.
From 2 key water, take again.
Alex tells me that today he's taking a back seat.
Where umetad?
Hapa man songe nyuma.
Cut. Cut.
Welcome back to the program. My name is Elijah Mwangi, and let's keep this conversation alive on Twitter using the hashtag Chamwada Report moments, and perhaps you can tell us of your most memorable Chamwada moment in the year 2016. In case you are just joining us, we are looking at the year 2016 that was, and also telling you of the making of the Chamwada Report. Time now to get more experiences from Chams Media team.
My most memorable moment is one time when we had to follow a truck from the port of Mombasa all the way to Kigali. The trip was adventurous and there was a lot. You can imagine traversing East Africa, walking through 3 or 4 countries. I have been able to grow in research and in many other things that I might not have studied at the university.
My most memorable moment as a camera person with Chams Media was when we were filming for, there's this story we did for Forgotten Water Towers. It was really challenging, but it really came out well. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it at the end of the day.
You're absolutely right.
I've also met the President Yoweri Museveni. It's like we ambushed him in Rwanda during the meeting for AU. I was very scared because the security guys were telling us to move.
Wakati mwingine nakumbuka mzuri ni wakati nimeenda Rwanda. Nimefuata truck kutoka Port of Mombasa all the way to Kigali. Huko gari inaenda na mnaendesha na right hand side, yeah? About 5 kilometers. Nilikuwa nimekopa up, niko sawa tu. Kile kilinifurahisha sana. Rwanda wanafuata sheria, si kama hapa.
My worst moment at Chams Media, I would say there is a time we went to film at in Mwea about rice production, and I failed to produce a PTC, a pistol camera. Media crew. To her now, I remember the camera person, Edison, telling me, Levis, you can do it. But I don't know what happened. I couldn't make a simple PTC at that moment. So I was like, Alex was saying, okay, maybe my presence is making you not to make it. So he left me, but still I couldn't make it. So when I left, when we parted in the evening, I left to my place, but I was solo in my spirit. I felt I have not delivered. But surprisingly, when we met in the following day, he was so sober, so relaxed. I felt part of the system.
My best show I've ever tweeted about was about the food security in Kenya. My worst experience was a day we had tweeted about a show. Obama 1 year later after visiting Kenya, we tweeted the show from morning to evening, then the show could not go on air. Just imagine you've been tweeting from morning to evening, then people are waiting for the show. There's no show, what do you tell them? It was a worst experience.
I feel at home when I'm at Chams Media because of the team. The team is actually very supportive, from cameramen to script writers to Alex, who actually creates a very conducive environment. The only challenge labda mbu, unajua tunawakusiku, tunakuliwa na mbu, tunalala kwa ofisi, sengine tuko wengi, wengine wanalala kwa carpet.
Now, worst moment 2016. One, there's a time we are traveling from London to Derby, and it was during winter time. Temperatures -5 degrees, and it's at night, so we missed our connection at some station in between London and Derby. Imagine we had to stay outside, or rather on the platform. We slept on the platform. There was no taxi in vicinity. We didn't know where to go. It was just in the middle of nowhere. But the station manager managed to open a room for us which was near the platform, but it was still cold. We were sleeping on the floor. It was Humphrey, the cameraman, and I. Sometimes you meet some nasty moments outside there. I remember we were filming in Mount Elgon. On the top of the mountain, then it starts raining. It really pounded on us. The car we were using was quite far. And I tried even to do some pieces to camera. We call them pieces to camera, sign-offs, to dramatize, to show that I'm able to speak before the camera when it's raining, but it didn't work. When I looked at those pictures, I told the video editor, no, we can't use these. People will ask, should you have really tortured yourself that way? One of my best moments was a trip to Israel. I was excited about it because I'd been hearing that Israel has turned deserts into agricultural farms. And I was able to see with my eyes. I mean, it's amazing how they even are able to desalinate seawater and use it for irrigation. Literally, Israel has no water, but it's one of the leading suppliers of food in the world. It was a high-profile trip. President Uhuru Kenyatta was visiting Israel, and I was one of the journalists who had been invited to accompany the president.
One of the contributors of the Chamwada Report is none other than Eugene Anangwe, who sends his reports from Kigali in Rwanda. Right now, he's in his village in Butere, Western Kenya. And so we just want to cross over so that he can tell us of the Christmas mood in the village. How is Christmas mood in Butere, Eugene?
Hi Elijah, welcome to my village in Emunyiri in Western Kenya. This is where we all get to converge every Christmas season, just to get to meet as a family and do some Thanksgiving, just to thank God for the far that he has brought us as a family, and to also get to exchange notes here and there from what we have been up to as a family from where we are usually based. I want to welcome you right here, and of course just to share with you what my folks had to say concerning the festive season. I had a chat with them earlier on. Let's have a listen in. Back here, the festive season is considered to some as a moment to prepare for a long period of merrymaking, and that means proper preparations as far as food is concerned. For others, it's a moment to take a pause, reflect, and refresh the soul from the tedious road throughout the year. Meet my grandmother, Jessica Lubanga Anangwe. She is in her late 80s. I started by asking her what Christmas means to her.
Christmas ni siku ya kusaliwa Bwana, lakini tunakuwa na furaha kwa shauri Bwana amesaliwa.
My maternal grandfather, 86-year-old Joseph Oluoch, says a lot has changed compared to his heydays when it comes to Christmas celebrations.
People have taken it for granted, and they think that only eating is the solution to this period. But formerly, even the old people celebrated in different ways, and at the end, on the 25th of December, they would go for Christmas prayers. At present, people go for Christmas prayers, all right, but then they don't take it seriously.
Meet my niece, Natasha, and daughter, Chelsea, both undoubtedly on the right path to becoming top-notch TV personalities.
Welcome back to the KTN News Edition here in Butere Live. And here I have a young citizen. Let's learn more. What's your name?
Chelsea.
How old are you?
8.
Do you love your school?
Definitely.
What do you do to support Kenya?
Give people food.
Oh, well, that is a lovely thing for an 8-year-old to do. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back.
Right, there you have it. Having Christmas right here in the village is one of the best things that we all always look up to the moment a new year clocks in. And of course, we've been able to make it here in the village, and we all give glory to God. From us right here in the village, we want to say a Merry Christmas and a prosperous Happy New Year 2017. Over to you, Elijah.
All right, I remember this content comes to you thanks to a partnership between Chams Media and the Standard Group. Time now to get feedback from the KTN editorial and online teams.
We are dealing with a situation where there are too many stories going on and people don't have the benefit of getting the context of the content that they get. So I think the Chamwada Report plays in that space that fits very well with the overall vision of KTN News, which is not just to give people stories as a break, but also when there is a pause to make sure that people actually understand the stories.
Most memorable show I ever tweeted, or rather engaged people on the platforms, was the beef farming KE. We're normally two people, me and my colleague Sarah. The Chamwada Report has been trending, which shows that we've been receiving feedback from the audience, and you find that at times we have to contact the production crew on what people demand, on what they need to change about. At times you find that people are giving you thumbs up, saying thanks for the show, we learned a lot.
KTN News specifically is a 24-hour channel, and KTN News has got a market audience that is broad, not only Kenyan audience, but largely even from outside the country. And that categorically makes Chamwada Report to be very relevant, not only to the group itself, but particularly to KTN News channel. Now, that means that many people who are outside the country would be interested in knowing how this program does. And with that, it does so well, especially if you look at the demographics or the analytics of the international audiences. Immediately after the Kenyan broadcast, you will realize that many international audiences are coming in or coming to the website to watch how the show is, or the developments in the show. And that is very integral, especially for the digital market in Standard Group.
Chamwada Report has been a show that has been very consistent in terms of delivery. In general, I can calculate the percentage that Chamwada Report has come to this station. With all the episodes we have done, more than 74, I say, only one aired a repeat, and that was a technical hitch on our side. But that show has been coming on time and has been going to air on time, because first, it has current affairs things which the viewers want to watch, and that can be proven very well on Twitter. If you check all the year round, we've been trending. We have to trend every Sunday because the viewers want that content.
My experience working with the Chamwada Media team has been great. My only bad experience with the team was this particular day. The show came in, and I remember it was dubbed Obama 1 year later, and we just couldn't trace it in the system. And on that particular day, we had to schedule a repeat.
And this marks the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching. You are the reason for the season. It has been 50 episodes this year and 75 episodes since the Chamwada Report started. A good reason to celebrate.
Merry Christmas. Okay, let's take it again.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Dear viewers.